Alright, continuing on, thinking about the commercial implications of media products. Obviously they want to make money. They want to sell us something. Sometimes they're just selling an idea or supporting a cause that will make us like their brand. So obviously here, we're looking at American Idol or whatever the show is. There's this huge product placement right in front of them. This giant red glass with the Coca-Cola. It's a clear product placement, right? So what is the commercial purpose of this media product? Other words, like, how is it going to help them make someone money? Right? So maybe they support a charity. Still got to ask the question, well, did they do it because, they have these big shiny hearts and they really care? Maybe they support, BLM or Me Too or insert whatever, movement you want. Let's not be naive. These companies change their ideas and change what they support based on culture, based on what's happening. Why? Because they got to figure out who's our target market. How are we going to use whatever event to sell our product? Okay? So don't be naive. They want to make money. How does this influence the content and how it's communicated? So there's a relationship, right? They want to make money, so they're going to customize their content and how they deliver that content in order to maximize how much money they make, right? So maybe they make it like hyper emotional. Maybe that's how they're going to approach the topic or whatever. Okay? If you can't find an immediate commercial purpose, that is, maybe there's no product that's being shown directly, like I said, with like a charity, for example, or a cause, you still want to think about what other purposes, right? Because they also sell the brand image. They're trying to sell who they are so that you like their company, and even though they don't show their product in one particular ad, you're going to remember, oh yeah, they supported, that charity that I really like, and so next time I go to the store, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was really nice. I'm going to buy Nike or whatever. All right? So there are other purposes that they have in mind, such as, building that brand image and reputation. Okay. For instance, we could think of another example: to get attention for its creator or to convince audiences of a particular point of view. So it could be political. Maybe they are supporting a particular politician and they want you to think a certain way about that politician. Could be that. Okay. So how do those purposes influence the content and how it's communicated? So put it together. Like, why are they doing this? Why did they portray it in that particular way? Now, they also then have the social and political implications, which is fairly obvious, but they may capitalize on social trends. And they may also try to change people's perspectives on social, cultural, and political topics. So there are ideological messages, like that's belief system stuff, about the values, power, an authority in society that they may attack or they may take a certain angle on. Who or what is absent may be more important than who or what is included. Okay, so you want to think about things like who is left out and why. Because that's usually intentional. If there are no people in an ad older than, let's say, 15 years old, there's a reason they're doing that. Or perhaps all the people in the ad are between 20 and 30. We'll look at an ad later on where that's exactly the case. It's totally unrealistic. No one in the ad is outside of that demographic. Okay, so think about who's absent. Well, there's no old people in that ad or whatever. Okay. What's the influence on what we think and believe? Because they're selling us an idea, they sell a concept or idea. If you accept that idea, right, that idea goes in your head and you say, yeah, that's exactly right. I believe that. That's going to equal action, which will lead to getting the profit from you. Okay? So belief leads to action, leads to the result, which is what they want. Sometimes profit, sometimes they want to change your opinion about topics in society. So maybe it's an election, right? They want to change your view maybe toward different groups in society or different world issues. These are all factors in media. So think about who's shown positively, who's shown negatively in the ad. Why might they be shown that way? Okay? Who's left out? We talked about that. Who and what is not shown at all. That's omission. And then think about, put it all together, what can I conclude? What conclusions might the audience come to based on all of this stuff? Well, here's an ad that got attacked because of severe racism, realistically. Let's take a quick look at it. So this ad became very famous due to the racist overtones. So let's think about a few things here. Okay, what's the dominant color? Well, look at this red color. Is like throughout this ad. Let's look at the text. Okay, text is all here. You want to think about text, and think about color, think about symbols, think about images, and we're going to go into all this in more detail later in the unit about the visual features, okay, the visual techniques in an ad. Well, in this case, the text says, China Times authentic Chinese cuisine brings out the Chinese in anyone. Well, here we have a person who is not traditionally Chinese. Okay, this is a stereotypical stereotype of a Sikh person. Okay, not Muslim, but a Sikh person wears this special turban and they grow their hair long. But in a very racist way, his eyes have been changed, right? So there's racism versus not only just the Sikh man, but Chinese people also. or Asians in general by making the eye shape like that. He doesn't even have eyes showing. It's like his eyes are closed. But what are they trying to say? Authentic. So authentic is the key word. And they're saying it's really good and traditional Chinese food. Like you would think you were in China eating this. Okay, and then they've got the dragons, which are the traditional symbol in that kind of outline. This font also looks very traditional Chinese style. All of those things together have cultural implications, right? Because we would get very offended by this because it is, in fact, using racism to enhance an idea about their product, and they're saying their cuisine, it's real Chinese food. The food is authentic. All right, each medium has a unique aesthetic form. That's the artistic form. Okay, the artistic and visual, sometimes audible features. So if it's print, if it's, in a video games are more interactive. So they have more kind of storytelling elements. They have sound and the cutscenes and so on. So the content of the media is going to be different based on the medium, whether it is a video game or a radio program or whatever. Okay, and so we can talk about the features of an ad and the aesthetic form of the ad, okay, which has to do with the artistic elements. So each medium has this unique form. They leverage certain things differently. So here's a Rolling Stone magazine cover. You got the before unedited, unphotoshopped Katy Perry, I guess that is, versus the photoshopped one, right? Well, we can see they've changed her skin tone, they've made her skin look perfect and different coloring, and they put her in front of the text, okay? So what technique does the media product use to get your attention and to communicate its message? Well, in this case, they're using sexuality, because she's like in her underwear, to sell. They're using, the skin tone is prominent. She's in front of the writing, so she pops right out. Okay, you can think of like lighting, where does the light go? And so on. In what ways are the images in the media product manipulated through various techniques? All right, here's the original, here's the manipulated. Right? Manipulation creates a false reality and therefore false expectations. And it's selling false possibilities. That you can have perfectly flawless skin with absolutely not even one pimple or blemish. It's impossible. So think of how they do that, right? Lighting, makeup, camera angles. Do they manipulate the photos? And what do we expect from the genre toward its subject? So if we have a print ad versus a TV ad or a drama or a music video, okay, think about the audience expectations. What do you go in expecting from that type of media? If it's a rap video, I'm going to expect certain things versus a Shakespeare play being recorded on the BBC or something like that. Okay, so those are our initial considerations and categories to think about the elements of media literacy. And in the next videos, we'll get into more analysis of some specific ads.